The work and the hustle define the character of man. But the name garners the respect that lives on for generations. You're an MC from Jersey. Right now there's a debate that New Jersey is the sixth man in regions of hip hop. That New York, Philly, Cali, Texas, Atlanta, all of them are over us. Even Doggy Diamonds and Daddy O, shout out to Doggy Diamonds, had a interview, podcast, whatever, where Daddy O said Jersey bar for bar can beat Brooklyn.
Absolutely. And
we're getting to the point now where now everybody's talking about Jersey again. Right. VMAs came to Jersey. Right. Oh, the 90s MCs are there, and Naughty's always touring.
Right.
What does it mean to be a Jersey MC to you? And how are you taken outside of New Jersey as opposed to inside of Jersey?
Jersey MC, the underdog. And going back to the documentary I watched at the Hip Hop Hall of Fame weekend, this is a part of the history that it was in my consciousness, but I just didn't really connect the dots. Hip hop started because of Jersey.
Talk about it.
When you think about the first record label, first $1 million record label in the existence of hip hop,
Sugar Hill Records,
right?
Robinson,
and when you really see the story of how those brothers started to come together and see the vision of, damn, we could really take this art form to the next level, and what it's been since that time, and not just with, I know we talking about hip hop, but when you talk about entertainment, period, the actors, the singers, the politicians, the world changers, the influencers, the artists that have come out of Jersey, we really are at the top of anybody's list. So as a hip hop artist from Jersey, coming from that time, especially in the hip hop era where we kind of jumped to the forefront, the Redman era, we was always touted as being extremely lyrical,
and uncontrollable
and not giving a fuck. Middle fingers up. We don't give a fuck what you like. We doing this over here. And also that little brother syndrome of being right next to New York. Even though we handed them this craft, a lot of people don't understand that no more. And for a long time, New York dominated hip hop. So we got a lot of those parameters that just push us to a level of animalistic grind mode, animalistic hustle, animalistic desire to say, you know what, look at me, I'm here too. As far as my aspect of coming out of being, I really don't even consider myself a Jersey artist at this point. I don't consider myself an artist. I don't consider myself a meditation teacher. I don't consider myself Dox. Half of the time, the majority of the time at this point. And what I mean by that, with the mind-body phenomena, when you get attached to any category, when you allow yourself to squeeze your infinite consciousness into any box, you're not living your truth, right? Okay, and we're supposed to use these aspects of our infinite consciousness at different times, but when you lock into one mode, I'm a Jersey rapper, or I'm a rapper, right? That aspect of myself would have never allowed this part of my journey, this explosion of my creativity to happen, because I would have said, man, rappers ain't supposed to be meditation teachers. That's gonna look crazy, like, you know what I'm saying? That's what that version of myself thought at that time. We just getting to the point where that's becoming popular. When I first found this path, that shit was not cool. It was still, how many bricks you selling? You know what I'm saying? So if I allowed myself to stay in that box, I would have never become this version of myself. And I realized what boxes, what categories wind up becoming. They become prisons. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, I don't see myself as any one thing. I become what I need to become in the moment. So right now, I'm looked at in front of this camera as a Jersey artist, and that's the part of my frequency I'm gonna honor when I go out of here. And I gotta work with a client, I gotta counsel somebody, I'm gonna become a counselor. When I gotta go teach meditation, I'm gonna become a meditation teacher. When I'm with these students, I'm gonna become a life coach. Whatever I need to become in that moment, whatever aspect of my consciousness needs to trickle out in that moment, I'm now at liberty to allow it to spill out and not have to hold on to, I'm a Jersey MC. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's deep? It's funny how the spirit works, because I was going to ask you that question anyway.
Wow.
That the world is a stage and everybody plays their part. Right. And there's many faces that we wear, right, but every face does not define our character. Our face defines the moment.
Absolutely.
So we got to take part in the moments.
Right.
Have you watched the Mic Council yet?
No.
You're invited to the Mic Council.
Okay.
The Mic Council is like our TV show.
Matter of fact, now I did see a snippet that you posted. I wanted to be on it after I saw the snippet. I'm bugging.
So what you talk about Sylvia Robinson is why As Is said New Jersey is blocked out of hip hop, because New York didn't like the fact that Kaz and them was doing it in them parties and stuff, but Sugar Hill Records came, and that's when the business of hip hop came.
Absolutely.
Let's do some Jersey history. Big Daddy Kane came with Juice Crew to do a show at Symphony Halls. There was a show, and they had an open mic. And an MC from Jersey came named Shaw Skills. He went directly at Big Daddy Kane on the mic, and Big Daddy Kane would not rap. He said, no, y'all need to bring him out. I'm not touching this mic.
Right.
In telling that history, Jersey has always had some deepness to it. And because New York is the Lord of the Rings, or what's the other one that people watch? Game of Thrones. There's kingdoms. There's the Kingdom of Brooklyn, the Kingdom of Manhattan.
Right.
You don't go outside your kingdom or your team to bring out talent. It's very rare.
Right.
So Jersey wouldn't get that. As a person who knows this, and as a person who lives this reality, finding your own identity is the key to survival. And that's what the Bible has taught, but nobody teaches.
Right.
What is the main lesson you learned, whether it be through hip hop or through enlightenment, that you believe every person should learn in their existence in life?
One of the gurus I follow, if you will, he starts every video with, man's sojourn on earth is only to seek God. Man's sojourn on earth is only to seek God. Now, I don't know the belief system of the people that's watching this, but at this point in my journey, having dabbled in a lot of different religions, on my way to kind of transcending just the framework of religion, which is religion is meant to do. Whatever you believe, I feel like religion is fingers on the hand pointing you to your divinity, right? So Dox, the rapper, Dox, the meditation teacher, counselor, whatever you want to call it. And when y'all pulled up, what was I doing? I was
son. Right? I tell you, may the light lead you.
I would let the light lead me, right?
That's right.
I'm at the point now where I realize that this is literally, I use two different analogies. This is a video game, more so for the masculine energy that may be watching, and this is also a courtship, right? And what I mean by that, being that this is your hologram, when we play third-person video games, right? And we get engulfed in the story, but when that character dies, you may scream a few F-bombs and things of that nature, but when you turn the game off and get up and walk away, you're not carrying that with you. That part of your video game is done, right? When you realize this life thing is a video game, and these people, places, and things we get attached to, these boxes we get attached to, when you start to let those go, you realize that the video game is just directing you to the reality behind it. On the feminine aspect of it, the courtship. And this is when I realized, oh shit, this is what the Bible is really teaching me, right? This is what this whole meditative journey is really about. What I mean by courtship. And I just met with a Moroccan Sufi yesterday, right? All the way from Ireland, I think he lives in Ireland and Morocco. But a friend of mine felt like we was on similar frequencies, worlds apart. He found his way to Newark, New Jersey to come holler at Dox.
Funny how the spirit works, yeah.
Right? So we sitting there having this conversation, and he was, and mind you, we got some differences in how we approach divinity, but a lot of what we were saying was the exact same frequency. And he was saying, think about the fact, think of the amount of probabilities that were more likely for me to end up in somebody else's space in this world, but I passed all these countries, all these states, all these provinces, and ended up with you right here, right now, vice versa, right? And he was saying that that's just a matter of the accommodations that God makes for each of us as reflections and projections of source, of God, him, he, she, it, however you perceive it. All these accommodations are being made for you throughout the course of your moments and your days, but you're oblivious to it because you give so much credence to this, right? When I got in the car, I had a Burro banana. Stop eating these big ass bananas, by the way, pause and all that. Burro bananas, the red ones with the thick skin, that's real bananas, right? Bananas actually supposed to have seeds in it too. But I get in the car, I was fasting yesterday, so I hadn't eaten nothing. So I saw the banana right there, and I'm starting to peel the banana. And I'm thinking about what he just said, and now I'm thinking about the history of this banana, how it got to my hand, right? Before it was even hanging from a tree. Before that tree actually even existed. Before somebody said, I'm gonna go ahead and plant this tree. Before somebody had the idea, I want to plant trees that grow burrow bananas. Deep within their subconscious and their unconscious mind, that seed was in there. That whole process would take place just for that banana to end up in my hand at that time. Not for nobody else. Not that banana had my name written on it from before its inception. And everything in our life is that same accommodation being made. If we could just start to if we can stop giving so much credence to the to-do list. The rent due, the bills need payment, and they still need payment. Don't get it twisted. There's still rules to this grid, but when you can start to eject your consciousness from that aspect of yourself, you realize, damn, everything that has happened in my life has been in supreme design, has been ordained, has been orchestrated for my greatest good. The only difference between blessings and burdens is perception. The things that feel good, oh, that's a blessing. The things that feel painful, oh, that's a burden. It's all two sides of the same coin. And without pain, I would not have gotten to this point in my journey to say, all pain is your body, your system, your mind saying something is out of balance, and I'm too uncomfortable to continue to allow this process. So at a certain point, pain is going to push you to say, you know what, I got to go past this, right? When you realize both sides is just still pushing you to that same level, it's a courtship.
Funny how the spirit works. I had a conversation about that.
Facts.
God said, how could God be righteous if he says, I'm God, I cause wicked and delight to happen on both. Exactly. It's like, I was like, evil is in the moment. Absolutely. It's not that it's God's evil.
Right.
It's your uncomfortability because you didn't follow a plan.
Exactly.
And I get it. So, not to go off on a tangent, let's bring it back to the enlightenment. And in the next part of the interview, which is the last part. Do you know who Siddhartha Gautama is?
No.
Funny that you don't. Siddhartha Gautama is a brown-skinned man who traveled from the East Indies to China. And what he did was he brought with him the teachings of clarity. He taught about the self. He taught about the inner man. It's even stated that he meditated.
Text me that too, by the way. I was looking for my phone to put it in there, but text me that.
I'll give you the book if I can still remember the thing. But he actually meditated. He meditated so hard that his spirit was etched on a stone. Who's that in history?
There's a lot of people. You mean like who?
Who's credited as that in history?
Who that spirit was etched onto a stone?
Yeah. To keep it going, it was the Buddha.
Okay.
The Buddha was not Chinese.
Okay.
The Buddha was an East Indian man.
Got you.
Who traveled to teach the yin, the yang, the chi, prana, as you said, and the inner man. The Bible teaches about the inner man and his relationship to the Most High. Islam teaches about peace, and inner peace is what brings you to Allah. The Egyptian Book of the Dead teaches inner peace, so you have balance, or Anubis will find you guilty and the dog will eat you. Chakras are our inner peace and finding your levels so you can balance. What is the highest form of balance an MC can find in his purpose? Welcome to Heritage Hip Hop, where we give you the best.
I'm digging.
Bullshit.
Don't cut it off yet. I'm digging. Say the last part of the question one more time. What is the highest level of balance
that an MC could find in his purpose? In your opinion, of course.
And okay, I got you. This is where I feel like, and people will find out when my new music comes out, where my evolution as an artist, as a result of the man I am, like really skyrocketed. But being able to honor the yin and yang of hip hop, which we kind of been talking about throughout this conversation, but not actually saying, the yin, the feminine energy of it being the entertainment, how hip hop makes you feel, right? And in yogic terms, Shiva and Shakti. Shakti is the pure power. Real quick, when we do alternate nostril breathing, I usually start with that level of pranayama, and that's to balance the feminine and masculine ends of the brain, hemispheres of the brain. So when you're sick, right? All y'all in TV land, heritage hip hop land, when you get sick and you got that mucus, you notice, this is always happening, but you notice it when the mucus is there. One side of your nostril super clogged, and you blow and you blow and you blow, and you can't do shit about it, but then 20 minutes later that switches, that's clear, the other one is clogged. That's an indication of the lack of balance between the feminine and masculine pole. When that balance, and I've been able to establish this for myself, you have free flow through both your nostrils, right? That's an indication you have more balance. The feminine principle, let's talk about that. Feminine principle is the creativity, the power, the intuition. This is why your lady just know when you're stepping out, right? You know what I mean? This is why women mature faster as girls. They start to mature faster than boys a lot of times, right? That's the right hemisphere of the brain, spills to the left side of the body. The masculine principle is the directivity of that power, the intent of that power. This is why when we have sex, the man has the dick, the phallus, whatever you want to call it, to direct the flow of that infinite reservoir of energy in that yoni, vagina, pussy, whatever you want to call it. So hip hop is like everything else in the grid, feminine and masculine energy. So that yin energy of hip hop is the entertainment, but that yang energy is the responsibility of, I can't just make people dance my whole career. At some point, and even if it ain't meditative principles, give them the highest level of what you've learned as a man. So I don't know why it's popping into my head right now, but Don Tripp. I'm pretty sure Don Tripp don't meditate. No, he may, I don't know. But his claim to fame, and people may not really remember that name at this point, but he exploded into the social media stratosphere by doing what? He had a bunch of records, and I was a fan of him before this record. He had a bunch of records about trapping. Everything was how many bricks he was, but the record that really skyrocketed him was the record about him pouring out his pain about what he was dealing with the mother of his son, and her trying to keep his son from him through the court system, right? That was his highest level at that point of the knowledge he got from his journey and from that pain. When you could do both of those, when you can engage in entertainment, the yin, how hip hop makes you feel aspect of it, as well as honoring the responsibility of giving hip hop your highest truth, whatever that may be, that's when you establish the highest balance.